Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Friday, November the 15th, 2013, and here's today's After the Bell Market Summary video brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Wanted to do a quick video recap of today's session and touch base on some stocks that made some decent moves today, and which stocks were showing maybe some relative weakness and how the sectors closed out for this Friday session. Starting off with the Dow Jones, the Dow closed up 85.5 points. The Nasdaq closed up 13 and a quarter. The S&P 500 closed up 7.5. If we take a look at the breadth on the market, we had 4,061 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. We had 2,232 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. So you can definitely see that breadth was in favor of the bulls, pretty much close to a 2-to-1 ratio there. If we start off by taking a look at the S&P 500 via the SPY ETF, via the ETF for the SPY, via the ETF for the S&P 500, which is the SPY. You can see we closed right here at 180.05. We mentioned the fact in yesterday's video how we did expect this target to get hit of 179.95 or 180 based on this little ABC move we had, and if you take the Fibonacci retracement, that 38.2% was the next target to get hit. So we did have a gap up, a little slight pullback in, which got bought up, and then what do you know, we closed right on the highs. Next target will be that 50%, that 150% Fibonacci extension, followed by the 161.8% Fibonacci extension. Again, there's no resistance up here, there's no price action up here, so price has no memory up here. Therefore, we do not know where resistance is until it is created. So we'll be keeping an eye on those Fibonacci retracement levels, as those would be some good levels to work off of. That's the levels you want to watch in the SPY. If you take a look at the ES, the S&P 500 futures, again, you can see this thing's taking off here. Volume's really not heavy on this little move up that we have. You can see volume is not increasing on this move up based on the breakout. All right, volume, we broke out, but volume is not increasing on the breakout past these upper levels right here. So again, we'll gauge the price action to see which levels will act as resistance, and we'll go from there. A lot of people are expecting the 1800 level to get hit on the S&P 500 futures, so I would not be surprised if we hit that level on Monday or maybe Sunday night when the futures open. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the triple Qs. The Nasdaq 100 ETF closed up 16 cents, up 0.19%. Another consecutive close above this 83.50 level from 2 weeks ago, a little pivot high that we put in right there. So two confirmation closes, or pretty much two confirmation closes above that level, and we're holding above the nice little range that we were consolidating between as well. So therefore, we should get some more follow through on Monday. We'll be watching the price action in some of these technology stocks, which actually did pretty well today. I mean, you had Oracle up 1.5%, CTXS up 3.5%. You had A Technologies, Agilent Technologies up over 8.5%. Sprint was up 4.25%, 4.5%, just about. The semiconductor stocks have been acting pretty decent, and some of the stocks that sold off today, they did recover pretty well off their lows. So there is definitely some dip buys in technology stocks. We've been bullish on the technology stocks. Want to make sure you follow up with those names. We'll take a look at a couple of them here shortly. Let's take a look at the IWM. We mentioned the fact that the IWM was lagging a bit, which it is. I mean, it was the leading index earlier in the year. Now the leading index is the Dow, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq's catching up. Of course, the Nasdaq is not leading because it is not above the the tech bubble sell-off high, so it is not considered really a leader at the moment. And there are some technology stocks leading, but I would say the real leader out there right now is the Dow and the S&P 500. Then I'll say the Nasdaq. Well, then I'll say the Russell, then the Nasdaq. But you guys get the drift. The Russell is not making new 52-week highs or new all-time highs for the markets right now, so it is lagging a bit. Again, doesn't mean that it's not going to catch up, because if the other indices continue to move higher, the Russell will be making new all-time highs in no time. All right, again, our target for this right here is the upper part of that channel. You can see we're still in this big upper channel. That target's up here around 114. We have to break over the highs, or better yet, break over this 112 or 111.75, whatever you call it. Let's take a look at the Dow via the DIA ETF here, the Dow Jones ETF. Again, another consecutive higher close above our little resistance trend line. And on this one, volume actually did break out a little bit higher here from the little consolidation resistance, increased a little bit. We do want to see some upper volume levels like around 10 million or so. You know, if we continue moving higher, we want to see that volume kick in and show us that there is definitely follow through. Now, if you look at the Dow, again, the Dow was, had this little bottom little trend line right here, upper trend line right here. Oops, right there. Come on now. You guys could see it, right? Sorry about that. This little upper trend line right here. So this was a breakout, and again, that volume trying to pick up a little bit there. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. It's going to take a look at the commodity space, starting off with gold. I want to look at gold futures. All right, and for the gold futures, up a little bit today, pretty much flat though, up a little bit. We are holding this 1260 level, and we are watching this key little downtrend line for the short term that we're slightly trading above right now. If we get over back above 1300, we'll be looking for a move towards 1320, and maybe back up towards these 1341s. We'll have to wait and see. But gold, put a nice little candlestick in for the week. Did hit a low for the week of 1258, recovered, and we have like a little doji close on the weekly time frame. Monthly time frame still looks like it needs to kind of try to hold this area to get some support around this level, but we'll see. We'll need to wait till next week to see what gold wants to do or how it wants to trade going forward. But as long as it stays above 1260 and holds that bid down there, we may see gold try to bounce back up towards this 1320 level. All right, let's take a look at silver. Let's take a look at silver. Silver was up 0.25% today. It's hanging around this key level at $20.50. All right, right here. That was a breakout. So you can see why it's a key level. And if it can hold 20.50, we could get a bounce back up towards 21.5. But if it breaks below 20.50 and holds, we'll be looking for a move back down towards, say, 19.50. Also forgot to take a look at the gold miners via the GDX. Commodities were a little bit mixed today. They're chopping all over the place. Don't really see nothing going on with the GDX right now. I can tell you it's trading in a range between 23.50 and 25. Right now, the best thing to do was stay away from the sector until we get a breakout on the GDX. And if we get a breakout or a breakdown on the GDX, that's when you'll go and want to play the miners, the Newmont mining, which these stocks are trying to catch a bid. The GGs, and these stocks are trying to catch a bid, but not really getting any traction there. Let's take a real quick look at crude oil. All right, via the futures contract, CL. Crude oil has not been able to catch a bid ever since it put this little topping tail in back here in August. It's been in a nice little strong downtrend. We are back around some key levels, but we really don't see a big bid in the market right now for crude oil as far as the technical analysis goes on it. And we just have a nice little strong, steady downtrend right here, another little accelerated downtrend right here, and now you can even say it's like a little downward channel, see a little downward channel forming. So really, until we get back above, really until we get back above 96 and hold above that level, you got to be a little bit cautious about buying the crude oil until it gives you a nice little possible bottoming tail or reversal signal set in stone. But the energy names have been trading pretty strong. All right, I mean Chevron, ExxonMobil, they came out with earnings and did pretty well, and the stock's been trending up. But now you had Warren Buffett came out and disclosed his stake in the company. So ExxonMobil is going to give you a breakout next week over 95.51. Make sure you watch that. I'm actually going to go ahead and put my alert for myself and the guys in the room, in our chat room. Again, if you have not been to our chat room yet, it is mywallstreettv.com. Right, if you want to log into the room, you have to go to our website and fill out the 14-day free trial on the right-hand side of the home page. If you have trouble getting into the room, you could contact me at ccooper@wallstreettrading.com. So aside from that, ExxonMobil looking pretty bullish again. They had a nice little boost in the stock today, thanks to Warren Buffett taking a stake in the company, disclosing his stake in the company, and the stock has been trading pretty well from the earnings. So that looks to go higher. If ExxonMobil is moving, you want to take a look at Chevron, another large integrated, large cap energy company. This one has not really been able to catch legs. Earnings came out, it gapped down from earnings, held its little bid down here around 117, 118, traded higher. Now it's pulled back. I would say if maybe ExxonMobil continues to move up, keep an eye on Chevron, as Chevron could be a little sympathy play on that move right there. But energy names have been trading pretty decent. We have been seeing some nice strength in the basic materials sector. We've been talking about this sector as well. Right, you had U.S. Steel, nice strong chart here recently. Ever since it broke out this little wide range between 1628 and 1935, this little $3 range or so. It's been on a nice little uptrend. Earnings came out, did pretty well, and now we're going up. CLF, another name that's been trading pretty decent. All right, nice little move up, a little pull back into the rising 20-day moving average. Looks to go back up towards the 29 level. As long as we continue to see strength in the basic material stock, I think you will get that nice upward momentum. Why? Because these names have been beaten down for the longest ever since the sell-off earlier in the year. All right, these names have been getting slammed ever since the whole slowdown, yada yada, all the negative news. These stocks have been getting slammed, but now they're starting to make a comeback. For the past 2 months, we've been talking about keeping an eye on the basic material stocks, the coal stocks, and those stocks definitely have been making a move. But CLF, AKS, let's take a look, see what AKS is doing today. AKS, CLF, all the steel stocks are looking pretty decent. FCX, a copper company, this one gapped down on Wednesday and has made a nice recovery, and now it's even looking pretty good because now it's breaking out this little downward type of channel right there, and it looks like it may be making its way back up towards the 38 level. So another stock to keep an eye on. Now, let's take a look at the U.S. dollar before we take a look at some more stocks here. The U.S. dollar rallying back up to our resistance area breakdown, which is right there, broke down resistance. Try to break above the areas, chopping around here. If it goes back below 81 and moves all the way back down, then guess what, folks? This will just be another little, I would say, lower pivot high being set in for a possible move down. Once we break this 79 level, guys, that's when it's really going to be over for the U.S. dollar. 79 is a key level from the chart since last, I guess you'd say, last February in 2012. It's a key level. All right, and then better yet, 78.12 is a key level from the low that was made last year in that same month in February. So again, really until we break below 79 on the dollar, you're gonna get this little bounce around action, but that's the level 79 on the dollar index futures. That's definitely gonna bring some more selling pressure if we break that low down there. Let's take a quick look at the euro. The euro was strong today. When I take a look at the euro, I like to take a look at the euro futures now. Really, the 6E, which again is pulling back right now. Once again, can catch a bid back above this. Let's see here, 135 level. We should be looking for a move back up here towards this 136 half level. So the euro, looks like this is a Bible pullback. It's putting in the same way the dollar looks like it's putting in a lower high. That's possibly going to be a short. So we'll watch the currency action to see what's going on there. But I want to go ahead and take a look at some key technology stocks now. Starting off with Apple, down $3 today. All right, just a little gap down, sold off a little bit, tried to rally, but it couldn't. Sold off, not really much inside body day right there. Let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon, we've mentioned this stock, strong stock, made new all-time highs today, broke above 370 and closed back down. All right, this stock is very strong. May pull back a little bit here, for another day or so, but I do expect the stock to continue trending higher sometime next week as long as the markets are holding steady. Amazon, then of course, take a look at Google. Google was down a little bit today, pretty much a flat day for Google. Going to need, I think you're going to need Google to consolidate a little bit up here. You've got this little downward trend line break, gapped up from a good earnings report. Was one of the only stocks, or there's a couple other stocks out there, but was only one of the technology stocks out there that actually came out with a good number and continued trading higher rather than gapping up and fading or gapping up and just chopping around. This one actually gave you some nice momentum after the earnings report, which is good. And now it's looking to give you another momentum move here. Gave you a momentum move on Wednesday, 2-day consolidation. May need to consolidate more, pull back a little bit for a little flash down shakeout action, but this one does look like it's getting ready to break over the 1040 level and start making its way towards the 1050. Saw some action in the biotech today, BIIB. All right, BIIB had some news out on it. I'm not quite sure what the news is, but this one looks good over the 246 quarter level. Keep an eye on this one on Monday. Again, just some more ideas here to watch. It's also at a key trend line right here. All right, and it's a nice little upward channel. Should be making its way back once it breaks past its resistance. Back up here towards the 260 area. Looks pretty good. What else? Forgot to touch base on Netflix and Tesla. Netflix, nice little move out the range All right, we've been talking about this nice little choppy range in Netflix after this little big bar down. Now, as long as it could hold above 341 half or so, we should be looking for this thing to make its way back up towards 35.55 and 38, 388. Okay, sorry about that. Listen, it's been a long day. Netflix. The semiconductors have been trading pretty strong as well. Texas Instruments. Take a look at this one. Looks pretty decent. Um, this one's trading in the range between 41.50 and 42 and a quarter. As long as this thing can stay above 42 and a quarter, expected to trade sideways to higher. I like that range setup. Let's take a look at Qualcomm. See, Qualcomm, nice follow through action. Mentioned this name. All right, on Qualcomm, Qualcomm's breaking out of a range between 66 and 70 there, a little 4-point range. So we should see at least another 4-point move high after this range, meaning we could go to 74. Qualcomm looks good. We talked about this earlier in the week. All right, Altera, another stock here, not really doing much. Let me check out Sprint. Nice breakout in Sprint today. Look for some Sprint follow through on Monday. I'm going to put an alert on Sprint if it breaks over 750, so 749, so I can get the alert before the half number if it doesn't gap up. But Sprint looks pretty strong. Once this thing triggers over 750, should definitely get some nice buy momentum there. Volume, you can see, picked up today, and we should be looking for some big volume spikes like these trading sessions we had back in October. All right, that's what we're going to be looking for. That would be a good clue that this is a real momentum move about to take place here. The financials, Goldman Sachs. I think Goldman Sachs finally broke past our 50% trend line from the channel, and guess what? It actually did. All right, and actually made a little new high right here from that high. So we have a low, a higher low. We have a high, a higher high. This could be making its way for the nice little uptrend. All right, that could take place above this little 50% trend line break. Also have to watch out with a possible wedge though that you see here forming from this little gap down low to that low to connecting these highs. Alright, so if we have trouble and we chop around here, you want to be careful. If the market starts to look weak and this thing could break down. But if we start breaking above this trend line and holding like so, alright, then this thing's going to give a nice little momentum move up and we can start making our way higher. So Goldman Sachs, I like the chart. Citigroup, again, Citigroup looking pretty solid. Broke over 50.50 today, traded to a high of 50.80, and then pulled back in a bit. We'll be watching the stock next week. We actually told our guys to watch this morning. Some of them made out pretty well on it. What other stocks are we watching today? 1 second. We're watching some other stocks today we did pretty well in. Yoku came out and we'll talk about that next. Yoku did pretty well for us today, right in the morning out the gate. JP Morgan, all right, triggered above this little pivot high right here, 54.85. Look for this to try to continue higher. Target will be back up towards the 56.50 area, up there towards those highs. And then Bank of America, let's see if this has some fall through action today, which it did. A little bit of fall through action. Bank of America breakout over 15. We want to gauge that momentum if it breaks past 15 to see those buyers. We have some big buyers that come in, or if it's just a little possible light volume breakout, which can make it vulnerable for a bull trap. But Bank of America, all the banks are looking pretty good. Again, see a JCPenney looks like it had a decent day today. All right, up close to 4%. They have earnings coming out next week. The stock's definitely going to be in play next week. Keep it on your radar. And the agriculture stocks, we've been talking about these names in the chat room. Monsanto, one of the stronger charts out there for the sector, looks good. Nice long engulfing breakout candle. Nice long breakout candle on the weekly chart. Not engulfing, but nice little long breakout candle. And we look for this one to try to continue moving its way higher next week. So keep an eye on this name as well. Aside from that, folks, we'll have some more ideas for you guys on Monday. Make sure you come check out our website, wallstreettrading.com. Make sure you come check out our chat room, mywallstreettv.com. If you're looking to get access to our services or anything, or if you're looking to share with our firm or take our education course, please contact me at ccooper@wallstreettrading.com. Have a great weekend, folks. Cheers.